Africa over the implementation of mandatory vaccination policies. In a recent media briefing, the Minister of Health, Dr. Joe Phaahla, stated government's stance on the matter.
The position of government is very clear that our priority is to mobilize and convince people to come forward voluntarily. Of course, we're not oblivious of this debate, but we leave that to, industry, employers, that's really the debate which should happen, not in the government.
JSE-listed company Discovery has been in the headlines after it announced that it's implementing a mandatory vaccination policy for its employees, which will be effective January 1st, 2022.
We feel a very strong moral imperative to do everything possible to protect our staff, both those who've been vaccinated and those who've not yet been vaccinated. We also have a legal obligation in South Africa in terms of what's called the Occupational Health and Safety Act, which mandates us to do everything possible to keep our workplaces safe. And given SARS-CoV-2 is a biological hazard, it's classified as a workplace hazard. And we know that vaccines are extremely effective at reducing the risk of the SARS-CoV-2, obviously the virus that causes COVID-19. Adding that measure to mask wearing and social distancing and improvements in our air conditioning, we think we really get to a place where our workplaces are entirely safe.
For some labor unions, they suggest non-mandatory vaccination policies, but more enlightenment for people to make the choice themselves.
At the current moment, the standpoint of the South African Federation of Trade Unions is that we do not support any flouting of constitutional rights of individual citizens to be able to choose for what they want and want to do with their lives. And therefore, whilst we support that people should be vaccinated and we encourage them strongly to go and vaccinate, we do not encourage or support any compulsory or mandatory vaccination.
I think we're going to see this become commonplace, and I don't think it's just going to be employer mandates. I think we're going to see a suite of different interventions and different policies being adopted. I think you're going to start seeing what we've seen in other countries like Australia and the UK, where in order to eat at a restaurant or be in a bar, you're going to have to show that you've been vaccinated. I will put an asterisk to all of this, and I think it's particularly important in the African context, which is these things only really work and are fair and equitable if there is a free and fair supply of vaccines. If there's enough vaccines that anybody who wants to go and get vaccinated can be vaccinated, then you can start introducing these policies.
South Africa's vaccine rollout has gained momentum in the past month since the 18 to 34-year-old age group was allowed to get their jab. The country has inoculated over 13 million citizens, with the target being 42 million by the end of the year. From Johannesburg, South Africa, Brian Pugeni, Channels Television News.